Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host Keith Whiteside. Thanks so much for joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very much. And one of the things that I'm most excited about this year is that we've got crews rolling. And so I'm so very glad to welcome into the program Sharon Chatagnier. Sharon, thanks for being here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
We appreciate it. Sitting next to her is Miss Jenna Parra. Jenna, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Both of these ladies are with the crew of Hyacinthians. And so it's just one of those things where I know we're excited about where we are this year, but start with you, Sharon. Tell me just a little bit about how long you've been in the crew and what the crew of Hyacinthians means to you.
I've been in the club since sometime in the 80s, probably about 1985, and I wanted to be in a traditional ladies' crew, which Hyacinthians is.
Okay.
And I grew up in New Orleans, and my mom dragged us to parades every night, and I also marched in them on school nights.
Okay.
So Mardi Gras is kind of in our family.
Okay.
And I'm honored to be in Hyacinthians.
Okay, and so when you talk about a traditional club, tell me just kind of what that means as a traditional club versus maybe some of the others.
Okay, well, we have a king and a queen,
Right.
and we have maids and dukes, which some clubs have either or. And so
okay.
our club follows more the Olan New Orleans style tableau and ball.
Yeah. So as mom, as you, in your words, dragged you to parades, and as you marched in parades, you kind of got that feel for what that traditional Mardi Gras feels like and felt like, right?
Yes, I loved it.
All right. And so you joined one here, somewhere
Yes.
in the 80s, which is a good
Yeah.
time. And so you've really enjoyed being in the crew of
I
Hyacinthians.
have.
Okay.
I have.
And so there's a camaraderie that exists, so I'm told. Now, I'm not in any crew. I don't ride. But there's just this phenomenal camaraderie that exists, not only within your float, but within the whole crew. Is that right?
It is. It's like a sisterhood.
Okay.
We went out to eat Monday night, and somebody said, "Oh, move for the queen." I have no idea who that girl, but she's in our club, you know,
Okay. Wow.
and recognized me. But there's nothing like it. I mean, everybody is so wonderful.
Yeah.
And welcoming to. We have people from out of town, even out of the country, who fly in to ride our float.
Wow. And so, you know, we hear about that in New Orleans, or people who join some of those New Orleans
Yes.
crews. It is wonderful to hear that there are people living not only out of town or out of state, but out of the country that come in to ride.
Yes.
That's exciting.
It is.
It says a little bit about how valuable and how important that is. And so, Jenna, let's talk to you a little bit. Ball captain this year, but didn't really have one last year, right?
No, we rolled over our entire court, our entire board. We just kept on with our year. We did not do any activities last year, so we rolled everything over. So we are still calling it our 70th year.
Okay.
Actually, our 71st year.
Right. And so the 70th and 71st are both the same. Tell
Yes.
us a little bit how long you've been in the club and kind of what it means to you.
I've been in the club 10 years this year.
Wow,
And-
it's your 10-year anniversary.
Yes, it is. And actually, I was queen my first year in the club with my grandfather, Homer McGee, who actually he started his own business, Home Float Rentals, that him and my brother run, and they build all our floats, and
Right.
they've been a part of Hyacinthians for my entire life. So that's really where you know, Hyacinthians is in our hearts, and our whole family is through and through Hyacinthians.
Well, I kind of wonder. I would kind of like to go back through the history and find out how many people joined the club and become queen that first year. I mean, I would
I don't-
love to
None.
find that out.
None.
So now we
Yeah.
understand a little bit about where Jenna's coming from. It's all about being in your blood.
Oh, yeah.
You know, setting new traditions as well.
Yes.
And so now, this year, we go from that, we hit that restart button, right?
Yep.
Nothing last year to restart this year. Tell us a little bit about what it was like to be captain of the ball.
Well, the captain of the ball is actually, I'm also the president.
Okay.
So,
Lots of responsibilities.
yes. So, captain of the ball last year did not happen.
Right.
But the captain of the ball plans all of the tableau that we have,
Right.
the band for the ball and that sort of thing. And we
and-
had none of that.
Right.
We started
Right.
out planning it, and then as things, you know, progressed, we realized that we weren't gonna be able to do that. So really, my role as captain of the ball did not pan out, but my president side of it,
Really did.
was a huge job
Okay.
throughout COVID.
And so now doing both, and as challenging as that's been, the kind of laying down some of the groundwork and being the president, also bringing the ball captain, allowed you to kind of do a lot of that organization and coordinating for this year.
Yes.
For the tableau. And so look, getting those bands in, coordinating things, doing any event right now, still very challenging.
Yes.
And then doing it post-Ida.
Right.
Because that
Yes.
just, with being able to have some of those people coming in from out of town and organizing and coordinating, even getting together for a meal on Monday, makes things difficult because not all of the restaurants are still open. They're not open that late. I mean, because, I know the history is you guys, when y'all get to a restaurant somewhere, people know that there's a party there.
Yeah.
And that's a really good thing, but it talks about how important that is and how important Hyacinthians is to each of you and what that means, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the one good thing that's really interesting when y'all hit that restart button for both the 70th and the 71st year means that this year it's going to be special. And so although we need to take a break, I am really excited to hear about what you both feel is the best part of your Mardi Gras, the best part of being able to ride this year and what that means to you. And we were just talking, Jenna, a little bit about how challenging the last couple of years have been, and kind of hit that restart button from the 70th to the 71st year. Now president, well, captain, tableau, it's going to be exciting. And we have now in full crown the queen this year of Hyacinthians 2022, Sharon Chatagnier, your queen. So excited. I want to talk a little bit about your crown because that's something pretty unique about each queen, right? So let's talk about the crown a little bit.
Yes, we went to Mobile to a place that specializes in making crowns.
Okay.
And they had made my husband's a few years ago, and so we were familiar with them. And they designed it, copied a European crown, almost to the T, but they had to change a little bit.
Okay.
And it was the perfect fit for me.
Well, and that's really interesting that you kind of go to where, you're in Europe, there's a lot of specific queens for different territories and different areas. And so what a great idea to kind of model that European aspect. I go to Mobile for all of my crowns as well. So just so you know, I know that's one of the things to do. And so that's really, really exciting. So tell me what it's like when you got announced queen.
Well, I never thought it would happen, first of all.
Yeah, it wasn't like you were like a first-time queen the first time you joined, right?
No.
A little different for you.
And we had 4 children, so we never could really afford to do it. And then all of a sudden, 2 summers ago, some friends brought it up, and my husband said, "How much does it cost?" And I messaged Jenna, "Do you have a queen?" And then he said, "Okay, you can be queen."
It was just that simple,
And
huh?
because Hyacinthians started in 1951, and that's the year I was born, so I was supposed to be the 70th queen when I was 70, but now I'm going to just say 70.
Sure, you're 70th and 71. Here's the thing. You don't have to be 71. You can go back to being
That's
70.
right. So
you gained a year.
Yeah, I did.
There
so
you go.
I had
like
a birthday
that.
last month.
I like
so,
that. Well, happy 70th birthday again.
Oh, yes.
Happy 70th celebration of Hyacinthians again.
And happy queen again.
Happy queen. It's just fantastic. So just really good news. And so because there's a lot that goes into being queen, it's one of those things you have to really think about doing, right?
Yeah.
And so you were excited to do it, right?
Yeah, I was beyond thrilled because I never thought we would do it. And then when he said, and I said, well, I didn't want to be this old to be queen, but I'd rather be queen than not be.
There you go. There you go. Well, there's something about tradition, and so you're one of those traditional queens. You put your time in, and now you're one of those traditional queens with the European crown.
Yes.
Very exciting about that. So, Jenna, let's talk about your excitement for being able to roll this year. As president and ball captain, I mean, you've got to be ecstatic about the fact that y'all are able to roll this year.
Yes, definitely. I am. The last 2 years have been so difficult trying to plan and then unplan and replan. And Sharon and her whole court have been so understanding through this whole situation. And I was so grateful that she even came forward and wanted to be queen at such a hard time and for every club. But we've rolled on through it, and they've been so gracious. And I couldn't I can't say enough about them for just going with the flow with this, because it's all new to all of us. So
Right.
it
Well,
was,
it's an exciting time.
yes, it is.
Let's talk about the tableau.
So our theme this year is Hyacinthians Goes Platinum
Okay.
for our 70th year.
Wow.
So we're going to continue on with that and still celebrate our 70th year. And each float represents a different platinum artist or platinum album or song.
Very
Yes.
cool. Man,
Yeah.
that may be the coolest theme for a parade that
Yeah.
I've heard of yet.
Yeah, so we're excited. We're
Wow.
excited to finally, because we picked all of these themes 2 years,
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
So we're excited that,
Yeah.
we're going to get to wear our costumes this year. And,
Right.
we've been planning for this for 2 years. So we're
And-
excited.
And now that we're seeing a little bit of the ease up, if you will, we got our numbers are coming down with regards to cases. I mean, and who'd have thought we'd ever been talking about cases of any kind of pandemic with regards to how that relates to being able to roll or not, but it is. And so, very excited. And so this coming Sunday,
Yep.
Hyacinthians rolls. And so you guys celebrate the whole weekend. So, Queen, we got about a minute and a half left. Tell us about the plan that you have for the weekend.
Well, tomorrow we have rendezvous
Okay.
after rehearsal, and it's a big party for the women in our club with the band and all, and
Awesome.
our guests. And then Friday night, of course, our family will view the Hercules parade. And
Right.
then Saturday is an all-day thing between mass, lunch, hair and makeup, and then get to the Civic Center until midnight. And then the next morning we have breakfast, and then we have our guests at City Hall and the parade, and then a Queen and Kings party afterwards.
So y'all will be bored for the next few days.
Yes,
Clearly.
yes.
Clearly. Well, I got to tell you, as somebody who enjoys Mardi Gras and somebody who really likes to see and feel what it's like, it's really exciting for me to see basically 3 years of planning and discussion coming to fruition. And for however number of years that you've been in the crew, becoming queen and seeing that come to fruition. I've talked to a number of people who have done that, and it's just it's different for each person, but this is exciting for both of you, for the crew, for yourselves, for your family. And I love the fact that you have a very well organized plan for the weekend. And so we're just going to wish that the Cruise Hyacinthians, for the next, all of the events that are coming up, all of those things just work out beautifully. So thank y'all for coming on today and sharing with us about your experience. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, very good. And that's just a little bit about what's happening with the crew. Go out and check them out on Sunday. And this will do it for this edition of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming here on HTV.